Why would they want to hide these important factors from the public? Because they're cheaters. Previously, Michigan voter rolls included the method by which voters cast their votes, but after several instances of voter fraud, Benson made the decision to hide that data from the records. Now, in March, she was a guest of Steve Bannon, writing amazing reporting on this. And this is the woman who wrote the article. Shout out to her, awesome report. I explained to Bannon how all this works, and I'd encourage you to watch the full interview. The George Soros-funded Secretary of State is also running for governor, so she can rig the entire state, not just elections. When it comes to elections, lawmakers in the state have so little faith in her ability to honestly and fairly oversee the state elections that they're attempting to pass a bill that would prevent her from continuing to create her own set of election rules or unfairly influencing the outcomes of the election. In fact, on August 27th, Michigan State Rep. Jennifer Wartz announced her unprecedented plan to require Benson to immediately resign if they choose to run for another elected office, right? And it's like a total scam. We had the same thing happen here in Arizona. Katie Hobbs was the Secretary of State running against Kari Lake. She ran the elections. The elections were rigged. We covered it in depth here. Major delays, ballot sizing problems. So all day of voting would be suppressed, and it was. There were lines everywhere across Arizona. And then she won the election. So her catastrophic failure to process a good election resulted in her, of course she rigged it, resulted in her becoming the governor because she runs the scoreboard for the election. It's insane. So same thing should be happening there. You don't get to referee your own election for the governor, okay? House Bill 4819 would require the Secretary of State to resign if she runs for governor. She's doing that. So she's going to manage the elections, including her own, for governor. Last month, a Check My Vote volunteer investigator worked with me on what may be one of the most significant discoveries to date. A scheme to register voters using foreign addresses as a mailing address and vacant residences as high crime areas as their local residents. We were able to identify 31 voters registered at one address, a Detroit coffee shop, with no evidence of anyone living above the residence.